everyone, it's Jess Larson. I am so excited to be here for the Simon Says Stamp Holiday 2013 video blog hop. Today we are going to be making a card using the large Merry Tree stamp and the Falling Snow stencil. We're starting the card by inking up a white piece of cardstock using 3 of my favorite blue distress inks. We are using Faded Jeans, Salty Ocean, and Broken China. There's a couple of go-to tips that always work for me when I am creating an inked background. I always start off of my cardstock and work onto the paper using slow circles. And I also make sure to use the broad side of the inking tool, not the short side. If I use the short side, I get a lot of weird inking marks and you can tell that I was using something to blend it, but I get a really seamless look if I take my time, go slowly, and use that longer side. So now our panel is all complete there. I'm just adding a little bit of depth with the Faded Jeans. And we are going to use the Falling Snow stencil to create a snow background. This stencil rocks. You can do the front of a card, you can do even bigger than that. It's 6 by 6. And you can use ink sprays. I showed a couple of white ones there that would work. But I find that I have better control and create a lot less mess if I use pigment ink. So in this case, I'm using the white pigment ink from Hero Arts. It's Unicorn White, and it is my favorite white pigment ink. It is really opaque and it offers a really nice matte finish when everything is said and done. So I'm going to reveal the beautiful background panel there, and that snow just looks perfect. And now we are going to use the set Large Merry Tree, and this obviously includes this big old tree here, perfect for a focal point of your card. And I'm going to stamp it out here in Versamark ink and do some embossing with some white embossing powder. I've been really loving the Hero Arts white embossing powder. It has a really nice coverage, and for stamps that you need to read these words through it, it is really clear and works out really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that out. And here I'm creating a little hill for our tree, and I'm using the A2 curved die. This is from the Stamptember release from Simon, and it's perfect for creating these little hills on the front of your card. I'm also using this little tiny tree. This is a new die, the Suspension Tree die. So here I wanted to add some snow to my hill. So I'm taking one of these, they're called Fantastics. It's basically just a stick with a little piece of foam at the end. And I'm dipping it into this Versafine or Versamark ink and just sort of sketching out where I want the snow. So I wanted the snow to be resting on the top of the hill, and then I wanted like a few little snow banks maybe all over the hill. So I went ahead and made my marks with the Versamark, and now I'm adding the white embossing powder. And you can see here, it just creates the perfect little white snow hills. And I'm also going to do the same thing on that little Suspension Tree die cut that we did earlier. And I'm just outlining it, again, just touching my foam onto the ink pad up there and then outlining the tree. And then, of course, adding the embossing powder and hitting it with my heat tool. And it's a really easy way to create the look of snow on your winter cards. Now comes the fun part. We get to put everything together. I have my inked panel mounted onto some white cardstock there just to create a little border, and then mounted onto a craft card base. I'm just tucking this little tree die in behind the hill, and then I'll use my large tree in front of it, resting on the hill. I added some jewels and gems to finish it off, and that's the card. Thanks so much for watching.